Test. Test, test. Alright, I'm going to get the stream started in just a couple minutes here. Gotta get a couple things figured out and then get started. Alright, I'm going to get the stream started in just a couple minutes here. Gotta get a couple things figured out and then get started. Alright, let's see. So I'm going to be making an SAO for my daughter. Let's see. And she's requested a lion. So I'm going to be making SAO oops, for my daughter. Not a Lion King. And this is what I do. Go to image search. Not a Lion King. This is what I do. And then this image search. This little trick. Click on line drawing. And this is all this little trick. Usually pretty ripe for SAOs. The one thing I'll say, most of this usually pretty ripe for you'll need to pay for a license, which I'm fully prepared to do on this project. Looking for something that'll be easy and interesting. Looking for something that'll be easy and interesting. Ooh, this one's kind of interesting. A little bit of shading. Ooh, this one's kind of interesting. A little bit of shading. Let's see if this, oh. They want to teach me how to draw it. I don't know about all that. Let's see if this, oh. They want to teach me how to draw it. I don't know about all that. There we go. I can have a better view at what I'm looking at. So we were looking at these earlier, and this is the one she asked for. were looking at these earlier, and this is the one she asked for. Let's see if I can find it in the... $10. Alright, I'm gonna... There we go. So you can't see. I'm gonna buy this. Alright, I'm gonna... There we go. So you can't see. I'm gonna buy this. Doing the PayPal. Doing the PayPal. All right. Bought it. So now I can download it. Oh, it even comes as a vector. That's nice. All right. Bought it. So now I can download it. Oh, it even comes as a vector. That's nice. And you guys who are watching, feel free to post any questions that you have in YouTube or Slack. I'll try to keep an eye on it. And you guys who are watching, feel free to post any questions that you have in YouTube or Slack. I'll try to keep an eye on it. So here's our JPEG that I just bought. And I like to make sure I buy these so I don't run up against any kind of, I don't know, IP. And I like to just feel like you need to pay creators for what they make, which is why I went ahead and bought it. So I was playing around a little bit last night. I'm going to make a new one. So we're going to fire up Inkscape now that we have our image. So I was playing around a little bit last night. And first thing I always do is go in here to extensions, then choose SVG to Shenzhen, and prepare my document. And I always do 100mm by 100mm. And the reason I do that is because that's where the price break is when with PCB manufacturing. Anything over 100mm tends to cost a little bit more. So I try to keep most of my stuff within 100 by 100. Anything over 100mm tends to cost a little bit more. So I try to keep most of my stuff. Alright, so the main thing that we've got now is a work area, and you'll see all these layers here. Each one of these layers is a PCB layer. So we'll go ahead and, so the one thing I hate about SVG to Shenzhen is all these layers come disabled, which just means I have to go through and re-enable everyone every time I make something new. And I could probably do a pull request on it. In fact, I even looked at the code, but I'm not sure if that's what they want. Alright, got all my layers set up. I'm going to copy my image in. Oh, there we go. Okay. So I just pasted the PNG in here, or whatever it is, JPEG. That's JPEG. So now we do the one thing that can make or break your project. We're going to trace the bitmap, and this can be a little wonky. If you do it wrong, you'll notice it kind of messes up everything once you start exporting it to KiCad. At least the way I do it. So I always do live preview. And actually, you know what? Before I do this, I'm going to go ahead and hit the lock. So hitting the lock on there will make it so when you resize it keeps the scale. So I'm going to go ahead and just make this smaller so it's a little easier. And then probably make it, let's see, we're still huge. Let's do 50. Should be big enough. So 50mm by 48mm. Alright, so now we're going to do trace bitmap. And I like to do the live preview, kind of get an idea. So I almost always turn off smooth and stack scans, and I almost always turn on remove background. Though I don't think I'm going to need it for this project. So I like to see what each one of these kind of does for me. But I usually end up doing, well, I changed it quite a bit depending on what I'm working on. So let's try this. And so Looks like nothing happened. This usually is the case. But you'll see, you can drag out. So that's our new SVG that I just dragged out on top. This is the old image. And now we have a working SVG. So we can close this. Let's make sure we didn't get any weird artifacts. And so that's kind of what I was talking about. Sometimes you'll get these weird artifacts, and that can seem to really mess up KiCad, or the export process. So now I've got no, I'm not playing another stream, or playing the stream in another window. Or maybe the audio is getting piped in somehow. Tell me if this is better. Awesome. Okay, sorry about that. All right, so let's see. Okay, so now the first thing I always do is get my edge cuts layer. And so this is where it can be a little tricky. Let me, first thing I always do is move this layer to silk layer. And then I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to move the duplicated layer, or the duplicated image, to the edge cuts layer. So now you can see if I hide the front silk, I've still got the same exact image, but if I hide edge cuts, there it goes. So I'm just working on edge cuts right now. So what I like to do is just remove everything but the outer edge. And so this is going to be a little weird on this one. Let's see if we can. So a trick I like to do when removing stuff is if you mouse over, let me just back up a little bit. So right now we're in like an object edit type mode. If you click up here, you can edit the path by node. And then you can, if you mouse over any of these nodes and you hold control, you can actually mouse wheel and it'll start selecting everything in the path that it runs into. So now I can hit delete there. So I'm just going to start doing this all over until all I'm left with is the edge. And this method is honestly seems to be the fastest and most reliable way to do this. You can kind of go in and just start selecting and deleting stuff. But I find if you miss something, then the edge cuts layer gets all messed up. So it's usually best, I've found, to just go in and take the time to do this. There's probably a faster way. And then I promise I'm not going to take too long on the artwork part. We'll get into KiCad here in just a minute. And the reason we're moving all this out is that edge cuts layer can only have one path around the edge. Having any kind of extra paths just throws everything off. So I could probably do something like that. Come back in. It just takes a little time to do this stuff. It's not hard, but it can be tedious. Now, we'll do one of these at least. Probably be, no, getting a little too close to the real edge there. Don't want to delete any of those edge vertices. Just want to get these inside ones. Here's just a weird one. Okay. Any other weird ones? Doesn't look like it. Alright, so now we have our outline. We should be able to... Huh. Something get thrown off here? Did I move something? Okay, well, we'll fix it. Hopefully. Sometimes when that happens, I've never had that happen, but sometimes if they get off, it's hard to get them back together. Okay, so the last thing we need to do for this is change the fill and stroke. So right now it's full, so we're going to set it to not full, and then we're going to set the stroke, the outline. Okay, there it is. Yep, just a little thin. There we go. So now let's see. Yep, somehow they're off. Oh yeah, turn off snapping. I should be able to, let's see, select both of them maybe, and then do align. All right, should be together. Let's see, sometimes they, all right. Let's export this to KiCad and see if those actually, those two layers actually match up. If they don't, I'm gonna have to redo it all. I've done this enough times, it just kind of stinks. That's one of the, seems to be flaws with either SVG to Shenzhen or the export process, but if the edge cuts layer ever gets off from any of the other layers, it just tends to be a nightmare. Oops, I might have closed that a little too soon. All right, we got it. We'll just do a little preview here and see what it looks like. Oh, nice. Look at those edge cuts. Pretty awesome. Okay, so let me look. What can I do? You can do cut out the eyes, make them glow. Maybe do FR4 for the main and make the lion yellow. No, we can't do, well, maybe. What does JLC allow? Will they let me change the silk screen? Because then I'd have a white silk screen with a yellow mask, which I don't really want. I kind of want a black. Let's see. So this is kind of my process for how I visualize how stuff's going to go layer-wise. I like to get basically an edge cut and a silk screen on there, and then I kind of can decide what goes where. So let's see what a white silk screen looks like. Let's do a yellow soccer mask. Let's see what PCBWay has for colors. I think PCBWay lets you choose. Let's see, I can choose my silk screen. Ah, yeah, maybe we'll go PCBWay and we'll do black on yellow. I think that's the way to go. Oh man, PCBWay's gotten expensive. Alright, we're doing it. Let's see. Maybe do the main as FR4, or his face is FR4 and the main is yellow. So the FR4 will give it a little bit more brown of the color. Let's see what it looks like. So, how are we going to do this? So we need to define the areas on the solder mask that will be removed. So let's see. Oh, that's not going to work. Oh yeah. Okay. So what I'll probably do is duplicate this layer over to front mask. We'll start with front mask. Okay, let's hide front silk and hide edge cut. So all I got is the front mask. So now I need to define the places that I want solder mask removed from. So it should be a little easier. So whatever is dark, solder mask will be removed from. So let's see. I want to delete. Huh. But I want to keep. Oh man, I don't know how I'm going to do this. Maybe I'll tackle that another night. Let's just remove the eyes and make the eyes glow for now. So basically, we're going to have to delete everything from this layer but the eyes. So let's get started. Oh. Let's just hack away at it. It seems to be a pretty good image. This should work. Once I get this, I'll be able to inverse it all. For the eyes, should be able to. let's get up to the eyes and make sure I can do this first. Oh, you know what? I wonder. So I'm just going to do this simplified version, and I might hack away on it later and see if I can get a little more detailed. I would like to do a little more detail with copper and using multiple layers on the silk screen, but with this image I'm having trouble remembering exactly the techniques I used before, but I want to try to keep the video a little concise so I can get to the KiCad part. And just show basically it's tedious, it's not really hard. Alright, so let's see, now that I have this, I should be able to set the fill, stroke. Okay, so I have the eyes. Alright, let's delete the outside now. God dang it. Alright. So we just have the eyes. Now we're going to go back, fill them in. Let's see what we got. Oh yeah, that's perfect. So that's blocked out on the front silk. Or I'm sorry, on the front mask. So now I'm going to duplicate this layer. And then I'm going to move it to the back solder mask. And so that's going to remove the same area from there. So now I should be able to save this. And then let's fire up. See what it looks like. Oh, I'm selecting the whole line by you mouse over one of the nodes and then you hold control and then you mouse wheel up. And when you mouse wheel up, it just starts going down the whole path that it's connected to, and it won't escape the path that you're connected to. So you just keep scrolling until it stops, and you can safely delete that whole outline of the object. Ooh, this is starting to look good. Let's see. 3D viewer. Oh, so sometimes this happens. I don't know what's up with KiCad or with SVG to Shenzhen. Just like stops liking my edge cut layer out of nowhere. So what I'll do is I'll copy that layer. I'm just going to back the hell up to a known working state. Oops. Okay, so we'll line these two up again. Let's save it and we'll export it just to make sure, but that should be good. I've still got the eyes in the clipboard, hopefully. Otherwise I got to do all that again. This is when people say that SVG to Shenzhen is buggy, these are the types of bugs that you're going to run into. Alright, big money, no whammies. Alright, got our edge cuts back. Let's close this. Close, close. Alright, let's go to the front mask. Oh no, they're not going to be lined up in the right place. Well, I can try to do it by hand, but normally I wouldn't do it this way. If it were in a live stream, I'd probably just redo it all. Alright, we'll call it good enough. Duplicate, move to back mask, move, save. Let's double check. This is why one of my biggest rules when I'm doing these kinds of things is always, like, any change you make, you want to test it in KiCad, because SVG just shins then. Just sometimes it'll break and you'll want to back up. Come on, big money. Oh man, it doesn't like my eyes. I don't know why. Let's see what's going on with the edge cuts here. Looks good. Let's see. Yeah, I don't get it. Alright. Looks like I'm gonna do it again. The joys of making SAOs. And so, yeah, just firing it up in KiCad isn't enough. Sometimes you gotta throw it in the 3D viewer. See? Broke the outline. I don't know what's going on. Let's try this. Big money. I've found that, like, it seems like if it's gonna break, it takes longer on this. Yeah. Alright, we'll keep backing it up till I get to work. This one seemed to work right after that move. Yep, there we go. It's working again. Alright. Well, back at it. So, what I do, duplicate, move to layer, move it to the front mask, and now I'm just going to export this and see what happens. It's going to be hard to see like any actual change in KiCad. just want to make sure the edge cuts doesn't mess up. That always seems to be the problem. Yeah, something about creating that. Alright, let's back up. Redo the edge cuts. Alright. Back to square one. This is our original SVG that we converted. We're going to move this to front silk. We're going to duplicate it to edge cuts, move, close front silk, make sure we just have edge cuts. Alright, let's rip this thing apart. I'm not going to take the same amount of care that I did last time, because I know this thing is pretty good. I'm really just going to kind of get the bulk of the innards. Now I'm going to start going through and getting the finer details. Alright, I think that's it. Alright, so one more. Alright, then we want to go ahead and just make this, give it a stroke, take away the fill, save it. Let's just make it a little easier to see. Export to test. Alright, 3D viewer, come on, big money. Yes, you can just select the outside layer, but I need to figure out how to like invert that so that you can delete everything but what you've selected or something like that. There's probably better ways to do what I'm doing, but it's kind of what I've figured out so far. Alright, so let me just do the same thing I did last time and just see if I copied the mask over, or copy this over to mask if it breaks everything, because that's pretty annoying. Okay, so I should have that on the F mask. Okay, so save and export. Come on, big money. Yeah, I need to figure out a way to like be able to copy the shape of what you've selected. Like if I select like, because that would really help me out. Because right now the best way I have is like removing stuff. It's not ideal because you're kind of limited. Big money, no wins. Well, I don't know what the hell is going on. Board outline looks good to me. So the edge cuts are fine. Can take the silk screen. Doesn't like my solder mask. Huh, alright, let's try again. So let's see. It's going to be tricky. Let me try doing copper. I want to add copper to the main, make it really bright yellow. Keep those there, maybe make even the eyebrows. Yeah. Alright, teeth and mouth. Alright. Let's get rid of the ears too. Alright, I don't know if I can do this all at once or if I'm going to have to do this in multiple steps. Let's see. probably gonna have to do this in multiple. Ah, that's right. I wonder if I can. Yes, okay. Let's move. This is the front mask, so I want to move that to front copper. Hide the front mask. Okay. Yes, that's what I want. Okay, so I'll keep doing this. Move that to front copper. Oops. Move to front copper. So we just got to find all the pieces in here. Wait, maybe I can just... There we go. Now we're talking. So now I just need to move all these to front copper. Let's see if that works. So this, yes, that's what I wanted. Okay. So that's going to brighten up the areas where his fur is, hopefully, assuming you don't have a broken edge cut layer again. Well, the edge cut is still broken. Let's see what happens if I hide everything and redo it. Let's just redo it, see what happens. Duplicate, move to layer, edge cuts, move, hide silk. You know, I've wondered about that, but I've not had that issue before with the overlapping on the edge cuts. Could be, but I'm not sure. Okay. So let's just go ham here. All right. All right. Almost done. All right. Should be it. Nope. Almost. Come on. Big money. See, looks like it gets imported correctly. There we go. Well, it's not really, it's hard to see the color difference between where they're, like the 3D viewer isn't good at showing, but the color where the main is should be a lot more gold than the rest of his face. In fact, I might have an example. Well, no, I don't have my Wu-Tang. Wish I had my final Wu-Tang. It showed the difference. Maybe if I make it a little less, might be a little more noticeable with a different color. Alright, let's see. What else can I do to this guy? We could put FR4 maybe, like on his nose. That might make his nose look interesting. Alright, let's remove the solder mask and copper from his eyes and we'll go from there. Alright, so once again, well, okay, duplicate, move to layer, front solder mask, move. Alright. Start hacking away at this guy. Oops. Alright. Promise we'll get to the KiCad stuff as soon as I'm done with the eyes. We'll just I think we've done enough detail just for a simple showing of what the whole process is from start to finish. Or at least my process, I should say. And if I were doing this like for a convention or something, I'd spend a lot more time at this. I've easily put in over 10 hours per SAO that I'm gonna do for a convention. Just working and reworking stuff, staring at it, trying to figure out what I can do to get a little more detail or make it more interesting. And then it never fails as soon as I order it. I think of something else I could have done. So I don't know, I would call this, the way I do it is really kind of a subtractive method. I kind of get the parts I need by deleting everything but what I need. I don't know if it's the right way, but it works for me. Probably, I would like to find an easier way. So yeah, now just delete this outside layer or edge. So I'm watching the node count at the bottom of the screen. You can see it increasing as I go, so I don't have to like readjust my view. Okay, so now I have that. Boom. Look at that. Alright, so now big money, no whammies. We should have some. Oh wait, I forgot to do it on the back, but we'll just make sure this worked, and then I'll just duplicate that and move it to the back. God dang it. Okay, well, let me try redoing the edge cut layer again. It seemed to work last time. Maybe that's my problem. I always do the edge cut first. Maybe I should just be doing that last. Alright, front silk. Duplicate. Move to layer. Edge cuts, move. Okay, I'm on edge cuts. I can also check down here, but I'm a little OCD. I have to like flash it 3 times to know. Alright, let's do it again. Oh, I wonder. Oh, I can. I can just keep control. Okay, that's interesting. Nope. Alright, come on, big money, no whammies. There we go. Look at that. Maybe I'll just have to keep redoing the edge cut layer. You can kind of see this is a little more gold than the face when I get certain angles on it. I really would like to do a red LED here, but I'm afraid if I do that I won't have room for a battery holder. So I'd like to just make it a CR2032. Alright, let's try again with hide that. Hopefully this doesn't break anything. So duplicate, move this to back mask. So now we have the same exact, so remember that's removing, that's showing where you want to remove solder mask from. So I'm removing solder mask from the eyes on both the front and the back so that light can shine through there. if you have copper on there, you're going to have to subtract that from the, you're going to have to make sure you're not filling in those spots on the copper layer. Yeah, alright. Edge cuts layer, I'll do it at the end. It's a little scary to put in a bunch of work and then do it at the end. I do want to put in a copper layer. So I'm going to actually move this to back copper. Then I'm going to duplicate this. Then I'm going to move it to back copper. And so now you'll see my back copper. You can see this is the area will be poured with copper. So I need to actually, where'd my, there it is. Okay, so I actually want to subtract or do a difference. So that's actually going to say don't pour copper here on the back. So that keeps that open. So now, this looks pretty crazy, can't see anything. Let's just see, we should, I know the edge cuts layer is borked right now, but we should see the, should be able to see the, through the eyes. Oh, and look, you can see the difference where the copper is versus what doesn't have copper. And look, we can see the FR4 is shining through the, or coming through. So that's going to be perfect. Yeah, if I were spending more time on this, I'd figure out where to put some copper. There's probably, maybe the teeth. Ooh, the teeth could be copper. Oh, that would look cool. That would look really cool. Man, alright, maybe I'll do that. But I'm OCD, so I'm going to actually just make sure I can, I'm going to make sure I can make the edge cuts again. I hate not having my edge cuts layer. It makes me feel vulnerable, like I'm going to put all this work in and it's just going to be broken at the end. So here I go again. Alright, big money. There we go, edge cuts still works. Alright, edge cuts is working again. See through our eyes. We could call it good here. Really tempted to make those teeth copper. Or maybe the nose. It's really tempting. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to do it. So I'll hide that. Alright, back to our main silkscreen layer. I'm going to duplicate it. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and make those teeth copper. I think it'll look really cool. So move to layer, front copper. So I'm going to go ahead and show where I want to pour the front copper, and then I'm going to go into the front. I'm just going to duplicate it to the front mask. Oh shoot, I forgot I had a whole bunch of stuff here. Okay, maybe duplicating that's not best. How am I going to do this? Alright, let's make sure back at square one. I did a lot of Control-Zing there. Okay, back at square one. Okay, I just want the teeth, but I don't want to break the front silk. What's in it? Oh, I can move something to an empty layer and work on it there. Alright, I'll do that. Duplicate, move to layer, let's move it to drill layer. I'm not ever going to do anything there anyway. Alright, got the drill layer, so I just want the teeth. So here we go, let's hack away again. Oop, don't know what it did. Oh, it's still selected. Alright, try again. Maybe the nose should be copper too. Maybe that's too much. I think I'll do the nose just exposed FR4. Might give it just enough of a difference to make it look good. Oh yeah, I forgot. We use that break apart trick. Break apart trick's really nice, actually. Alright, now let's get this edge. And all we have left is what I wanted. Alright, so now we'll move this to... So I want to remove the solder mask from the nose. So I'll move this to front mask first. So it exposes the nose and the mouth. So now I want to duplicate this to the copper layer. But I don't want the nose to be copper. So I'm going to delete that nose. Oh. The tongue shouldn't be here. I don't want it on that there either. Alright. Should look pretty good. Alright. Let's see what this looks like. Oh yeah, I think that's gonna look good. Fix the edge cuts layer, put my logo on it and some stuff on the back. Then it's time for KiCad. So let's see, hide, edge cuts, you're done. Duplicate, move to layer, edge cuts, hide that, got edge cuts. Let's try this, path, break apart. Just start deleting everything. Yeah, this is a much more efficient way. Alright. Save and export. Come on, big money. Hopefully this wasn't all for nothing. Big money. Oh, how did I get copper up here? Didn't mean to do that. What did I do? Wait, was that right? Huh. I'm not sure that was right. Now it's right up here, but edge cuts broke again. Let's fix it. Ah, there's like this thing was still there. Went on the edge cut. Okay. Well, we'll do it again. Like I said, I'm gonna keep saying it. This isn't hard. It's just tedious going over all this stuff over and over. All right. I liked that break apart thing. Let's try it again. I think as long as you don't select the whole object, you're good. All right. There we go. That's exactly what I wanted. So eyes will be different color, the mane will be different color, the teeth will be different color, and then the face will be a little bit muted yellow. Oh yeah, this is gonna look good. Alright, so now you'll notice it's just kind of thrown, like when it exports that, it just throws it in here. So this is kind of backwards. I haven't actually created a project yet for this, so I'm going to just save it here inside of a directory called lion badge. Now I'm going to close this, and I'm going to open up KiCad. Alright, and now I'm going to do a new project. Call it lion badge. Even though it's an SAO, whatever. Alright, next thing. Need to make a schematic. Well, first let's get our PCB loaded into KiCad. Always makes a Alright, close that, reopen project. Now we should see our lion PCB inside of our project. Easy peasy, let's just 3D view it. Make sure nothing broke. Oh, well, change the color to green, but whatever. That's fine. Okay. Oh, shoot. You know what? I didn't put my logo on it. Gotta do that. Alright, so this should be easy, assuming we don't have to make a redo the edge cuts again. I'm going to just pull in my logo somewhere in here. There he is. Why does he have this big background? Huh. Huh. Not had that problem before. Well, let's just try this. Oops. This will only take a second. Should only take a second. Alright, what am I doing? Path, trace bitmap, preview, turn off smooth and stack, add remove background. I think that was the problem before. Okay. Okay, that worked. Get rid of the old one. Look how crisp and nice that is. Beautiful. Shrink it down. Okay, so now I'm going to have to subtract this from the copper layer. So get it to about the size I want. Oh yeah, since it's going on the back, I'm going to flip it. And maybe we'll put it down here. Excuse me. And then select that, path, difference. Oh no, didn't want to do it on that layer. I want to do that on the back mask. So that's going to remove that from the back mask so that it's visible in copper. It'll show up in copper on the board. Let's just take a little quick look. There we go. Got my logo on there. Now I'll just put a little message on there for my daughter since I'm making it for her. Maybe I'll do that on the back silk. Okay, back silk. Alright. I've got a lot of fonts to choose from. That's one of my favorite things. Any TTF font, just throw in here and start using. think I'm just going to go with Palantino now. Okay, then we've got to flip it. Still a little big. There we go. Just move it to where I want it. Put that up here. See if edge cuts broke again. No, didn't. Alright. Got silk screen, got my copper, everything looks good. I think it's ready to actually start working on. Alright. So now we'll just do a save as, because again, it's just saving it somewhere random. I guess I defined it somewhere, but now I'm actually saving it to my Lion Badge project. Replace, yes. Right, we're going to close that, close, minimize. Just so now I'm back in KiCad, main KiCad window. Just going to double check that my saves are there because I'm OCD again. Just I like to double, triple check everything because trying to go back and fix it after, if you didn't realize your mistake, it can be a lot longer than if you've already got the files up and ready and you can Control Z and all that. Alright, schematic time. And actually, I'm just going to copy a schematic I've already got. Because this is the exact same schematic as like the Reddit Alien or my Hank Hill. So I'm just going to do the Reddit Alien schematic. This is one of my favorite things about KiCad. You can just, if you've already got a schematic, great, use it. You don't have to reinvent the wheel each time. So now, when I open Line Badge Schematic, see it's got an SAO header here, and a battery, and 2 resistors and 2 LEDs. So let's just check the footprints on these, make sure they're right. Okay, looks like we got a CR2032. We've got 1206 size for both the LEDs and for the resistors, so we should be good to go. We're going to generate a net list, save it. Looks like everything's annotated already. I'm debating whether or not I want an SAO connector at all. Since this is for my daughter, I don't know that I need it. But then again, it'd be kind of fun to have on there. I might as well leave it on there. Alright, so now that we've got our net list, we can go into our PCB, tools, oh yeah, load net list. Got to point it to our net list. Update the PCB. There's all our stuff. Now I can start placing it. Oh wait, first thing I'm going to do is, oh wait. Alright, I'm going to flip everything but the SA. Well, I'll just do it one at a time. Flip that. Alright, battery holder on. Then take an LED, flip it, put it up here. goes here. Do I have room for this? I don't know if I even have room for this. Let's see. Maybe if I move the battery a little. No, that's not going to work because then the batteries are on the, okay, I can move the resistors. I guess I put the battery holder here. Alright. I don't know if I'm going to have room for this. Alright, let's go ahead and view this, make sure everything's on the right side. Nope, looks like I forgot to flip a few things. There we go. Alright, let's see, so VCC, ground. Excuse me. Alright, so now I should just be able to connect all this up. Let me align. There we go. Looks a little better. Double check everything on the back, make sure it looks good. Just double check everything on the back and make sure it looks good real quick. Yeah, that should work. Alright, let's do this. Oh wait, you know what I need? Gotta add pen holder or a pin. So that I can pin it onto stuff. Let's make sure that worked. I wonder if I can. Thought I could remove that ref still on the silk screen. Huh. That might have done it. I think that might have done it. Maybe not. Alright, maybe that did it. There we go. Might as well delete the D1 and D. I don't need any of those. Although I think there's an option when you export the Gerbers. But I'm going to go ahead and set them to not be visible. There we go. Oh, battery 2. Alright, time to start connecting stuff. So, got ground. Got ground. And we're going to need to connect. Oh no, we need to rotate those. Okay. Okay. Let's try to make it a little bit nicer. No. This. There we go. Oh no, okay. Oh, this is so much harder without a ground plane. Because I can't just not pour the... Ugh. Alright. Alright, I don't even know what's going on with the traces. It's hard to see. Normally, if I do a plane, like a ground plane, I can see the traces a little better. What's... okay, I'm going to convert this to a ground plane. That's what I'm going to do. Actually, yeah, I'm going to delete everything. Huh. Okay, so now I'm trying to find the geometry for my copper layer. Oh yeah, I can't do this yet. I have to create the ground plane, and then I can do that. Oh man. Okay. Alright, now back copper is going to be the ground plane. Oh, whoops. Ground plane, okay. I draw a little triangle. Should be good. Created that ground plane. Edit text editor. Now we should see ground plane down here. Okay. So now I need to find the geometry for the ground layer, or for the back copper layer. So that's what I got here. Okay, so then just copy those points here. Should be good to go. Open this back up. I should have a ground plane to work with. I don't know. Looks weird. I don't know if I got it all. Ew. Doesn't look good. Oh, it did work. Okay. It's just around the eye. Okay, okay. Cool. Okay, so now that I've got the ground plane working, delete these horrible traces. Ooh. Ah. Okay, now get the battery on. Okay, we'll put the battery there. And the LED 1, flip it, go about there. LED 2, flip it, we're going to go about here. Flip the resistor, go here. Flip the resistor, you're going to go over here. Okay, then we're going to just wind these up. Alright, get rid of the... I don't have anywhere to... Well, I guess I could put it here. Alright, so we can pour the ground plane. See that got ground here, here, and on the SAO connector, and on the battery. So that's good. So now we should just have to draw traces. Let's rotate that. Looks good. So connect to VDD. That's fine. Oops. Alright, looks like this should work. I don't think I really... Yeah, I think I'm going to get rid of the SAO connector. Well, there we go. I think it's about done. I'm going to save Gerbers. I'm going to export the Gerbers, so just do a quick run through, go into the Gerbers directory, footprint values, footprint references. I don't really need either of those. Well, I'm going to leave one. So this is the part I always forget. You have to do generate drill files. All right. So now, got all of our Gerber files. Let's do, where's send to compressed. Line batch Gerbers. And then so yellow, black, oh, forgot to sign in. All right, let's see, 50 by 48, I want it yellow with black, immersion gold. It's 50 by 48, I'm pretty sure. Oh, 49 by 48. Just drop my, should be able to just drop them in here. What? Jeez. Alright, submitted that order. Not sure why it's so expensive. Should be cheaper. So weird. It's not usually this expensive. Okay, well, that's it. I will keep you guys updated when I get this thing in and show lots of pictures. Thanks for watching.